Good evening. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Wednesday, the 19th of February, 2024. I'm not wearing a sweater. We did get up today to over 10 degrees, and tomorrow we're going to be in the 20s. So the warm weather is coming back. Over the weekend, we'll be in the 30s, and next week in the 40s. But that cold vortex that you're going to see, it goes all the way down to Texas and across the U.S. It's a son of a gun right now. But the markets aren't cold. Today we had the FOMC minutes. I used it, and I did a special update on the dollar report that I had done 3 weeks ago. So if you go to our website at iraepstein.com, as soon as you're there, just look on the top left, you're going to see the special report. And I review the minutes. I go into where we're at in the chart action and so on. You can take a look at it there, and I'll talk about it at the end of this. Let's go to what we have tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to get the Philly Fed Business Activity Index. It's supposed to be down a little bit. That's the estimate. They're saying jobless claims will be 215,000. Now, I'm going to ask, when do we start seeing the increase of all these people that DOGE is letting go? And now they're at the Pentagon. They've been at the IRS. Supposedly 6,000 are being let go from the IRS tomorrow. We've seen forest rangers, park people. I mean, it's in all the papers. All you need to do is look. If you go this summer into the parks for camping, you have a real problem. Who's going to do the bathrooms there? Who's going to man the gates? They don't have enough people. I know firsthand a lot of that. My son's a forest ranger, and they were thin-staffed. Park rangers, a different division completely, but I was reading in the papers today what that is. The Chicago Fed President Goolsbee today, he's going to address a Chicago Chamber mid-market event, and that's at 8:30. We'll hear what he had to say about the minutes that were released today. The Conference Board, they're going to release their January leading coincident and lagging economic indicators Thursday morning. That's at 9. They're looking for 185 billion cubic feet of withdrawal in the latest natural gas. That compares to a norm of about 145. So it's bigger, but not that much. And 58 billion a year ago when it was much warmer. The EIA petroleum stocks, they're due out at 11 o'clock. All right. So there's some craziness going on. Do you honestly think Ukraine started the war with Russia? Yet that's exactly what President Trump said. And his word is he could have stopped it. Nobody could have stopped Putin, in my opinion. Nobody. I mean, yeah, there is. Hey, come on. You can have all of Ukraine. There'll be no war. That Zelensky could have done, and if that's what the president means, fine. But there's a point here where I question the craziness, and I don't think it's crazy. I think what the president does is he says so many crazy, absurd things that it throws you off base. And at the end of the day, it's all about negotiation. It's not personal, probably. It's probably not realistic. He knows that. But the goal is, how does he end this? And that's what he's trying to do. When I saw that Putin today said he can't wait to meet Donald, well, you know that he's accomplished one thing. He's gotten close with Russia. That's been his goal. How does he get them, to his buddy there, to end the war? But now he can't leave our good friends, and the word is good friends in Europe, alone. They are our allies. Russia's not our ally. Come on, there's a craziness here. So we'll see how this all goes. Again, if you try to get into the mind of Trump, I wish you the best. Psychiatrist is what you have to be. Again, I don't know what a tariff is, all right? Is a tariff 25% reciprocal? Is it 10%? What day of the week do you want to talk, and which one is it about? I give credit. I saw Bloomberg. They brought up today the same thing, and I said it before them. I have no idea what it means anymore. I'm lost. Ms. Sheinbaum from Mexico, she's sending in a delegation now to talk to the Trump. She's doing a good job. I keep giving her credit. 10,000 troops. They've gone after cartels. I'm sure it's not enough. I'm sure the Donald wants more, but that's where we're at. Stock market as a whole up today. XLC, a little bit more of a gain, not very much. And You rejected the lows in Amazon. Was that enough? I don't know. You took down at one point Netflix to under 10 and a quarter, but it came roaring back. So some of the markets got bids under them. You'll notice I'm not talking about the Fed minutes. The reason I'm not going to go into them, I cover them in really big detail in tonight's currency report on the website. So when you go there, you'll see the special report. In AMC, I haven't talked about this, but it's rejected the $3 area. I'm noticing in uranium, the market just sitting here in the $27 to $30 range, not going anywhere. I like the break in Rivian. I'd like it to get now closer to 12.5, 12.75. We'll see if it can do it. Gold held on to the rallies. You're up about $15 in early trade tonight, in fact, in the gold. So as we look over here, we see that the market got turned back from yesterday's highs in Palo Alto Networks, all right? The pattern of the chart, not very good. I can't make one out. You got a lower low. I got a higher high. I don't know what to do with that. That's not a trend per se. The market did hold the first break of the 18-day average, which is in red. The 100-day is in green, and in gray is the 200-day. And the values, as you can see, they're right up there in the color. Everything I do is in colors. So if you ever question, well, what values are they? They're all in colors for you. So what's stopping the rally is the upper Bollinger Band. So often markets will go to that number and away you go. And you see that all the time in charts. You want to get proof of it? Open a chart of yours and remove everything in the inside. Only put on the Bollinger Bands and see what it looks like to you. And your eyes will light up with it. Now you got to learn how to play it, and that's why we put out that course. We do a lot of that groundwork for you. But you can see the market's running. It's still bullish in terms of bias, just not the ideal setup of higher lows, higher highs in the market. And you have a market that is now doing what? Well, if you look at the numbers, both were over 80. Both were over 80 yesterday, and both were over 80 the day before. So in my parlance, this is called a locked-in or embedded slow stochastic reading, which tells me tomorrow to pull out my guns and get ready to put out buy signals on a break as long as it does certain things. And I will probably do that for my subscribers in the morning. In BROS, I look at Bros as trying to get back in the upper Bollinger Band. This is Dutch Brothers, obviously. And I'm going to sneeze there. And as you can see, the market trying to hold back here, come back into it. You're not quite embedded yet. You're about to if you hold up again tomorrow. CrowdStrike, this is what happens when you develop an embedded reading that holds on. Typically, the market keeps carving out higher highs and the breaks in the market get bought, and the market keeps trying to go back up to the upper Bollinger Band. It's very typical of what happens. It doesn't always happen. Nothing always happens, but there are typical actions, and they're high probability actions. That's all I can say. In Rivian, no, I don't think you'll stay over that Bollinger Band. I want it to come in, and I'd love to see the market fall further and get closer to that 18-day average. It's also too overbought, I think, to be a buyer. When we look at the Chinese Internet ETF, KWEB, you can see how the market backed away from the upper Bollinger Band. Love to see it back down a little more. It might be a buy if you hold on to the embedded reading tomorrow on a break. So today was day one of the break. I think the pros will buy it on day two and throw in the towel if the red line's under 79. So I think the wait, see the opening, make sure the market stays over that 79. The reason is you closed in the bottom part of the range today. And if you, let's assume you open $1 or $2 lower, you could lose the embedded reading like that. So it's something you got to watch. I mentioned Toll Brothers yesterday. Well, they were down 5% last night. They got even worse at 7%. I don't know if you saw today's numbers on housing starts and permits. I think the starts were down nearly 10%. I mean, that's a monster number. It's interesting that the permits picked up a little bit, but it's also interesting when you looked at DR Horton and the others, how terrible their stock's doing. Horton is one of these for beginner homes. That's the way to look at it. These are for the mature people with the very expensive homes. Both ends feeling the pain. You can see that in what's going on. In Tesla, well, when you lost the bearish embedded reading, market turned up. I think price and the 18-day average are going to come together before you go back down to that low. That doesn't mean the market's entered a bull phase. You're in a bullish phase, though, in XLF, and you've hit a price target, the upper Bollinger Band, and the market is overbought. Therefore, I think the professional type trader took his position off in that market today. In XLI, this is impressive. So I think you're going to get the pros buying on pullbacks to the 18-day average, this 138.20s. I wouldn't be surprised if they have stops under the most recent low of 137.39. And wherever the Bollinger Band comes in, they'll look for that. It's not a hit. It's going to just pop trade. I don't think it is. I think it's a trade that's worthy of getting to the Bollinger Band and probably hanging around there for a little bit. The energy sector, you've now made your run up like we were talking to the upper band, and it just stopped there. Again, the Bollinger Band typically stops those rallies. So in the gold, you still have the embedded reading. Today was one of these pause days in it. Again, you pulled back. I would not be surprised to see the market try to take this high out and see where it goes. As I said, the market is up tonight about $20. Whether it'll be there in the morning, your guess is as good as mine. What I don't like is silver staying overbought, so I'm not in favor of anything in the silver market. The chart pattern's not there. You've lost the upside momentum completely in the copper, and it looks to me like it wants to retrace right into, if you look at it, the 18-day average of closes, and that's where I think the market's going to have to fight a battle. It stepped out of its uptrend, that I can say. In BND, you don't have a trend. You've got a lower low and a higher high. I don't see anything in that. In the dollar, I covered UUP in my full dollar report. I'll leave it alone right now. FXE. So the market failed to get up. It just missed hitting the upper band, and it's pulled back to its neutral area of the 18-day average, where it's probably going to find buying support. Stops probably under here. Now, the big question is, will the U.S. stay on pause? I think that if you saw the Fed minutes today, they're staying on pause right through March, probably June, July before you get anywhere. And the question is, do they keep cutting rates? What do they do in Europe? What do they do about defense spending? There's so much. But I'm viewing it that the market is bullish until it can come back here and take out this low, and we'll see if that's in fact what the market does. So you put it all together, it's fun, it's interesting. As I told you, I did a special report for you. It's an update on the last dollar report. So I walk you through the price count sheets that we had done. I don't know why that did that, but let me start it again and see if that fixes it for you. There you go. To make a long story short, I walk you through the price counts. You'll see how I got to the 109.83. I show you how that objective came in. I show you right now on the pullback where the market might be headed. We cover seasonal charts, the QT price counts. 2 seasonals are in there. I certainly am talking about world events. It is time sensitive. It's only up for 3 business days, so you do want to see it. You simply go to iraepstein.com. Look on the top left. It's right there for you. You can't beat it. I'll put up here a link. If you want to click that on a PC, it'll take you right over to that area. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great evening, and I'll catch up with you all tomorrow.